as I gain more knowledge throughout, basketball, from all these, true fans, watching their YouTube channel and all stuff, discussing about LeBron versus, Michael Jordan, right? I mean, this shouldn't even be a debate, to be honest with you. The only reason why LeBron is in the debate of being a GOAT, over Michael Jordan is because of all these narratives and lies, right? And I'm going to speak all about facts, right? If why LeBron is not even close to Michael Jordan. Like, will never be there, right? Will never be. I mean, in the past, like, I got a gut feeling. I always, my heart and my feeling was saying that like LeBron James is somehow not Michael Jordan, right? And this is actually true. So didn't know exactly why. So and then some people saying that LeBron James is the GOAT, right? Thinking he's the GOAT, especially people in my generation, right? I mean, yes, we did not watch basketball back in the past, so we don't know how tough the era was, right? Until I mean, people who've been watching basketball for years, know the NBA has been changing a lot, right? I mean, in the past, let's talk about history, and these NBA players insult us like we don't know anything in the past. Like, yeah, we're the fans, like we're the one that's paying to watch the NBA in the first place, right? So our opinion and our where your comment do matter, right? If it doesn't, then the NBA wouldn't exist, right? I mean, the professional player, professional athlete always talk down on us, right? But hey, we're human, we have to be treated equal. We're just the same level as you guys, right? Our feeling and our, words matter, right? Our voice matters, as a matter of fact, right? So, yeah. I think there's lots of, there's plenty of explanation of, why, LeBron should never be compared to Michael Jordan, right? Never will be. So, let me explain, the era has got weaker. So in the past, all the NBA's, players, they are truly professional, right? The NBA wasn't soft, they were a lot more physical, players have to earn every single points, right? And then, in this soft era, now, the stats and, the scoring are inflated because of less intenser, defense, right? You know that everything is inflated, in this modern era. So this is why, people, make accomplishment and scoring go really crazy, right? And I know that the LeBron James has the most, scoring talent, but he does not play any defense, right? That's the one thing about Michael Jordan in the past era. The defense was a lot tougher. But now, you put them in this era, they're gonna be very unstoppable, right? But in the Michael Jordan's era, people don't play for the passion. They play for passions, right? That's what I'm saying. Now in this era, players, they don't care about playing basketball. They only care about monies and Hall of Fame and spreading narratives and lies, and disrespecting the past, right? And this is why, nobody respects any NBA players in this modern era, right? Nobody gets the respect. They don't get as much respect as, the ones in the past, right? But, to these delusional people who was just born yesterday and all that stuff, or who just, LeBron fans, especially, LeBron James fans. But I know LeBron James fans are going to dislike this video because I'm just speaking. They thought that I'm making narrative about LeBron James, but this is all the truth, right? I mean, the truth. I mean, everybody speaks about the truth, right? The to true NBA fans. They know, they're not stupid. They watch basketball. They know how LeBron is, right? You know, right? Yeah. And this is why I don't watch much basketball, because, you know, it's just all that flopping, all that, you know, crying, and all that, you know, low management. And it's just, you know, like, I lost interest in for some reason, right? I was interested in NBA, but not as much anymore, you know? Yeah, you see, that's another thing. You know, like, why LeBron, James can never be compared to Michael Jordan. So here is the real reason. First of all, LeBron James does a lot of flopping. No, I mean, the biggest main reason is because he makes a lot of excuses, right? I mean, yeah, like, you don't make excuse, you know? And how LeBron makes excuses in the NBA? Well, yeah, he blames on the players, you know? He blames on the coaches. He's getting, like, many coaches fired, right? And he asked for, like, so many trades, right? I mean, I know LeBron plays in the team, right? And every time, you know, the owner or the organization, you know, do everything what he wants, the problem is still not solved, right? That means he got to be the problem. And he's been moving to team after team after teams. Like, not too many teams, but 3 teams, right? You know, he was drafted in Cleveland in 2003. And then, you know, and then he goes to Miami Heat in 2010. And then, you know, he left the Miami in 2014. Then go back to Cleveland again. Then left Cleveland again and goes to the Lakers. And yeah, this guy is LeBron James is a good player, but then he has a lot of issue himself. So that's something I gotta talk about, right? So yeah, you know, he never takes accountability. This is why he just blames it on everyone else, but not himself. And this is what LeBron fans do, you know, all the time, you know. They blame on somebody else. They say he never had enough help. They say that he had none of this, none of that. There always has to be an excuse, right? Of, you know, like, why LeBron James, you know, fails, you know, to deliver, you know, championship and all that stuff, right? I know that he's been to the finals, you know, more than Michael Jordan, but that's not it, man. It's the winning, man. It's not how much you appear, right? And I know that, you know, the East, it's been really weak compared to the West. This is why he goes to the finals like every single year, right? That's something that, you know, LeBron fan or, you know, the media don't ever talk about, right? There's a lot of things that they don't talk about, you know, like how to expose LeBron, you know, because obviously, you know who LeBron is, you know. I think he pays, you know, all these, you know, media and to spread all these narrative, and then he go on his podcast, you know, because, yeah, you know, that's LeBron, right? And LeBron is very, you know, unprofessional, to be honest with you, and he's a very sensitive guy. If you don't call him the GOAT, then he gets really mad at you, right? I feel like, you know, I have a LeBron James jersey, but there's no point in me wearing it because I wear it on YouTube, I wear it in public. People don't respect me at all. Because now, you know, like, why, you know, like, nobody cares and likes LeBron James. Because, you know, yeah, it's because, you know, LeBron is a clown, right? You know, and he's never a full-grown man, right? Never will be. Right? He walks off the court early whenever he loses, you know, and whenever he wins, he do all that front running, right? I mean, this is what most NBA players do today, including himself. So, always have no sportsmanship. Always play, you know, no defense, right? I have to tell you, like why, LeBron James does not play any defense, because he just wanted longevity, right? If LeBron plays defense, he'll score a lot less, and he'll probably retire like 4 or 5 years ago. So that's just the facts about LeBron James, right? Yeah, people are getting tired of this, like no defense, all stuff. And then, he wants a trade, and he's been asking all the trade, he's asking, players, to cover up his, flawless, especially on the defense, right? LeBron James only plays offense. Well, LeBron James did play a really good defense back in Miami, but now it's been like over 10 years, he has not played a really good defense, right? He just choose, and I say he choose and when to show up, when to not show up. I'm like, this is LeBron James, right? And he flops a lot, He's getting like all the calls, I heard that he gets like no technical fouls and stuff, all stuff. Like, oh my God, this guy has like so much help, and he still complains. And sometimes, like the ref, get the right calls. Anything that goes against LeBron James, like he gets really upset, right? I mean, if people look up to this guy, they should be ashamed and full of themselves, right? I look up to this guy one time, and see, this is why, this is an absolutely a joke, right? And he's ruining this generation now, Our generation ruining, people just copy him. I talk about even little kid copy him, and this is what happens, That generation's getting ruined. And this is why true fan has to speak about this. They have to, because it's just like too dangerous for a young generation, right? Man, LeBron James, yeah, people are just tired of this, He left for organization. So let me talk about, why, LeBron left Cleveland in 2010. And I know that some people still respect him just to leave Cleveland in 2010. I know that everybody gets mad about him. But I think LeBron deserves a criticism of why he left Cleveland in 2010, right? I mean, I did watch basketball when I was a lot younger, but then I stopped, I don't even watch basketball in 2010, to be honest with you. So I have no idea. But this is why I just overheard, right? They say that, everybody, that sucks on that team, Cleveland was like number one, then they dropped to like dead bottom, to the worst team in the NBA, after LeBron left there. But they say, I also hear this narrative that's saying that, LeBron was more impactful than Michael Jordan, but that's not true. LeBron James is also a gold digger, like he doesn't make anybody better, right? He actually declined them, which is why, Cleveland suffered a really bad record, right? So as of Michael Jordan, like the team, he makes everybody around him better, right? So this is about Michael Jordan. And this is why, when Michael Jordan left, like they still have a really good record, right? It's because of, due to Michael Jordan's impact in a positive way. But LeBron on the other hand, it negatively, impact the player. So when LeBron leaves, then they're not as good as they supposed to be, or they should be, right? So yeah, that's exactly what happens, right? And I know that, everybody don't like, his move in 2010, joining, a Miami super team, right? So yeah, so this is when, like the super team was, introduced, right? So, and then, for LeBron to be, very well respected, LeBron promised, like many championships in Miami. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but I don't know how many championships, but he only won 2 championships in Miami. And 2014, he got blown out by the Spurs. So the Spurs totally decimated him, after game 2, right? So yeah, I could tell like wherever LeBron goes, like LeBron is the problem, right? So yeah. Well, so let's talk about. So now let's switch back, to Michael Jordan's, era, right? Yes, it was a lot more competition, right? He faced against, a really decent opponent. I forgot, like, I heard that he faced against the Utah Jazz in, like, I forgot what year. Like, I wasn't born yet, so, yeah. That Utah Jazz team, was one of the most formidable Jazz team, in their franchise history, right? And they faced against the Bulls, and right, Michael Jordan, here's a record of NBA Finals of LeBron James and Michael Jordan, right? LeBron James obviously appeared in more final than Michael Jordan, due to soft era, and Michael Jordan has a better winning record than LeBron James, right? I mean, Michael Jordan has not lost a single final. He went 6-0, right? And he three-peated, like twice, right? Michael Jordan has not lost a single final, whereas LeBron James has lost more than he has won. He's 4-6 in the finals, in the NBA Finals, right? So let me get that clear, right? Yes, it's the winning that matters. It's not the appearances or how many times you've been in the playoff. You could be in the playoff for like 100 times and then you have not won anything. That don't matter, man. Right? So yeah, that's how big Michael Jordan is, and everybody respects it. Michael Jordan, everybody, and he's more popular than LeBron James, right? I mean, I probably know Michael Jordan, before, knowing LeBron James. That's how damn good Michael Jordan is, right? Just like, wow, so Michael Jordan and LeBron James debate, it reminds me a lot like the Lakers versus the Clippers, right? The Lakers are the first team and the second team is the Clippers. The Clippers are like the little brother to the Lakers. Same thing with, with LeBron James, right? He's just like a little boy. He's just a little boy, to, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the father of LeBron James, right? Call him the father. Because that's how successful Michael Jordan is, right? And why everybody should look up to him, right? Michael Jordan was playing good. He was playing very, formidable defense, He pushed everybody hard in practice. That's another thing of, why people keep making excuses and why they never be successful in life. This is just a common sense things, That's something I almost forgot to say in this video, Michael Jordan, he pushes everybody in practice. Like, he did not ask for a trade. He did not blame on teammates, right? Look, Michael Jordan does not do any of this. He does not talk down on people, right? Michael Jordan is a very good person, right? He doesn't get coaches fired. He only sticks with the one coaches, and that's the GOAT of all time in coaching, Phil Jackson, right? He even coaches, Kobe Bryant, one of my favorite NBA players too. So yeah. So this is why, if Michael Jordan acts like LeBron James, then nobody will respect him as well, right? And then Phil Jackson will probably get fired, right? And I know Phil Jackson cannot coach LeBron James. He doesn't even want to coach LeBron James because he knows he's the problem, right? And then, what happened when LeBron fails? Like, oh, he's going to get all the blame, right? That's what's going to happen, right? It's never going to be his fault, right? Never will be. So, that's another thing, If you're not good enough, and if you're Michael Jordan's teammate, he's going to make you work hard for it, man. He's going to force you to, he's going to push you in practice, force you to be more physical, make you a lot more mentally tougher, right? LeBron James doesn't practice, right? That's the biggest problem, So this is, you know, everybody's weakness of like why they're never good enough in life, because they don't practice, right? How, like, when you practice, you put in the work, right? Yes, you have to pay your duty, pay all your hard work and all stuff, and then you will get the most out of it, right? So it does not matter like how good and talented you are, you know, you don't practice, you don't become great, period, right? LeBron James never pushes his player in practice, right? I feel like LeBron James, in my opinion, you know, here I want to say, like, when you don't practice enough, I feel like you're just a lazy, right? This is a lazy effort out there, right? And this is like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not a lazy person, you know. He want to make sure you have success, right? Because you're playing on his team, right? And back in the old days, you know, like the Chicago Bulls are always the underdog, right? Why is that? Right? Yeah, because of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, that's what another thing is, right? But for LeBron James, you know, he always underachieved. For Michael Jordan, he's always, you know, he overachieved, which is good, right? So, yeah. The coach, I think every coach that talks about LeBron James, they say that, you know, like, oh, like, why is his team failing? Why they're not good enough? Coach Frank Vogel, you know, Darvin Ham, you know, and other coaches say that, you know, LeBron never practices, right? That was the reason, you know, right? They exposed to do it and people still don't, you know, like believe it, right? I cannot. Well, some people will know that, you know, like, oh, like LeBron didn't practice, right? That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, right? He doesn't push his teammates in practicing, right? And then, you know, and then there's another reason of, you know, like why LeBron James isn't on Michael Jordan's style. Was like LeBron has cheated the game. He said he never cheated the game, but he did cheat the game like multiple times, right? I mean, he, for LeBron James, you know, like LeBron, you know, charges to people. He does all this traveling, all stuff, but never, like sometimes the ref doesn't even call it. So the refs are absolutely, you know, garbage in this you know, modern time, right? LeBron's get all the favorable calls. He's getting like 500 plus free throws, and he still complains. Like Michael Jordan, like he doesn't get extra benefit, you know, free throws, right? Yeah, so whatever team, you know, LeBron goes to, like he manipulates the game and all stuff. Like he even manipulate the games in, you know, in the Olympics, you know, right? So yeah, you look at like how much free throw LeBron has. He has like hundreds or even 500 plus free throw, and this is ridiculous, man. And he still barely gets into the playoff. So yeah, imagine, you know, like without these beneficial, like LeBron would be in the playoff. He'll miss a lot more playoffs, especially now he's getting older, right? People want to say age is an excuse, but it's not, man. It's not. Like, guy, man, he's embarrassing, right? And LeBron has like the most turnover, you know. Even some stat, you know, or people bring this up, you know, like he has the most turnover as the player, right? And that's something that people don't, LeBron, the media don't ever talk about, right? So yeah, that's why he is a complete joke. So yeah, and a dirtbag, right? So yeah. So I think Michael Jordan competition was good. Now you want me to talk about LeBron James competition, right? And how they do, right? Why, you know, nobody respects his rings, right? I mean, he won his first championship in 2012 and his last one was in 2020, and to be realistic, he's not going to be winning any more championship, right? To be a realistic person and not to be, you know, stupidly delusional, right? So yeah, so what happened in 2012, right? where I still don't watch NBA, but then in 2013 I got back to the NBA as you know, as around like, you know, like, yeah, like mid 2013. So in 2000, let's talk about 2011, you know, where he thinks, yeah, but as a super team, you don't even win, guarantee not win championship. What happened in 2011, right? So, yeah, I remember that, like in the final, in the fourth quarter, you know, LeBron James and the Miami Heat were like, they were up by like 17 points, like about to blow the team out, but then the Mavericks just came back. Like they just cut this lead down to like 7 and 6 points, like in a matter of minutes, right? So yeah, LeBron James always folded in the clutch, right? I think this is also the thing where I don't explain, you know, like why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James, but here's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a very clutch player, right? Whereas LeBron James, you know, like seems like he's on Michael Jordan's level, but yeah, fourth quarter is always the biggest moment of the game, especially, you know, in the final stuff. Fourth quarter is insane. You gotta be clutch, man. And LeBron James is not a clutch player. Like he has to get somebody else to help him. Like whenever he gets the ball, like whenever he knows he cannot shoot, he has to give it to another player, right? And if the player don't do their job, they get the blame, right? And Michael Jordan isn't like that, right? If Michael Jordan and LeBron James face against each other, Michael Jordan would decimate LeBron James, especially in the fourth quarter, right? He will clearly, you know, annihilate him, right? Completely, man. So, yeah. So, LeBron James has to get more help. And he still complains that he doesn't have enough help. Michael Jordan is not like that, right? He does everything on his own. He's a true leadership, right? LeBron has never been a leader. That's another important thing too. It's how you, your people respect you. It's like you need to be a true leader. He isn't. He's a narcissist. He only cares about himself, care about his stats stuff. His stats may look better than Michael Jordan, but that's not what it's about, you know? I don't care how good your stats are, but if people don't respect you, that means you don't impact their life, you know, positively, right? Michael Jordan wasn't in for a stat. He cared about winning, right? Stats, having really good stats does not make you a winner, right? So yeah, I know that LeBron James is a loser, right? So yeah, so that's the difference between, you know, that's some huge things that I didn't, you know, discuss about. So every championship that Michael Jordan won, all his 6 championships were legit, right? And all LeBron's, you know, championship is an asterisk, right? I mean, championship has been asterisk, you know, like after the 2010 era, after Kobe's era just ended, right? After Kobe suffered, you know, like in Achilles, right? I feel like championship, and then, you know, the Dallas Mavericks won their first championship against, you know, LeBron James, you know, being, you know, irresponsible, and LeBron just blamed everybody but not himself, right? So yeah, I remember the way Chris Bosh, right, in 2011. So I feel like the Heat could have beat the Dallas Mavericks, but yeah, they already have problems already, right? So yeah, and then let's go into 2012, right? What happened in 2012? You know, the OKC Thunder versus, you know, the Miami Heat. The OKC Thunder wasn't supposed to be in the final. It was supposed to be the Spurs, right? I mean, injuries is part of the game. So yeah, the reason why, you know, competition is not as tough as they were in the past because a lot more injury, a lot more low managing, a lot more players being soft, right? Yeah. So I think in the Western Conference Final, like 2012, I was curious, like, you know, like why the Spurs lost to the Thunders. It's because, you know, Mal Ginobili was injured. So yeah, the Spurs had an injury problem, and they were up like 2-0 against the Thunder, you know, about, you know, to beat them. But Thunder luckily beat them, and then win the next 4 games. That's just how it is, right? And then after the Thunder advanced to the final versus that Thunder was like experience. They have James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, right? I mean, 2012 was a year where Westbrook, Durant, and James Harden been to the finals, and they failed, right? Because I guess that wasn't an impressive championship run for LeBron James. It's because he faced against an inexperienced Thunder team, right? Yeah, on his super team too. So yeah, and then let's go into 2013, right? Of what happened to LeBron James, right? Obviously facing against Spurs, like he was already down 3-2 versus Spurs, but then that miracle comeback, that pretty much got him a championship, right? So yeah, the Miami Heat should have lost Game 6, but why isn't that? Because of the 3-point shot, right? Chris Bosh has to bail out LeBron James. LeBron James shot only just makes him by luck. So yeah, LeBron. I remember that the Spurs, were leading against the Miami Heat. I feel like in fourth quarter, like LeBron didn't do all that work. It's like his team has to bail him out, right? So yeah, I think LeBron team was like down double digit in the fourth quarter, but then they got to a lead, but then they start folding up again, and somehow they're down by 5 points, right? And then LeBron makes a 3, then have to foul. The Spurs was missing like several of the free throw, which is why that got Miami back in the game. And then LeBron misses again, then he has to give Chris Bosh, and Bosh shoots his 3, and then they tie the game, right? And then went to overtime, and then Miami took another game, and then once again in Game 7, then they barely beat the Spurs, right? They were inches away from losing that championship run, right? And then 2014 totally exposed the Miami Heat again, and the Spurs got the revenge. I mean, the Spurs was a good team, but the Spurs was a very old team, so it was against an old team Spurs, like Tony Parker, Mal Ginobili, Tim Duncan, right? That Spurs team also doesn't look like a championship because, yeah, they were an old team, right? LeBron James just lose that team, And then, let's go back in, 2015 where he returned to Cleveland, I know that there's an excuse, Kyrie was injured and Kevin Love, wasn't himself, right? And then they have to, yeah, so that's the reason why. That's a big excuse of why LeBron failed to deliver championship in 2015, right? I mean, the Golden State Warrior is a good team, but they're inexperienced. Like I said, another inexperienced team, right? That just somehow beat the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers was up by 2-1, right? They were up 2-1, and I feel like, when Kyrie and Kevin Love wasn't there, when they have injuries and when the Cavaliers has injury problem, then LeBron, that just makes the chance, and also the chance of LeBron wins championship and respect he should earn, like the advantages is pretty much equal, right? So yeah, and LeBron just failed, right? I know that the Warriors did not even have they don't have a good coach, but then inexperienced, and they somehow lost to the Golden State Warriors. I know Steve Kerr is a coach, but he's nowhere near Mark Jackson's level, right? And I know that Mark Jackson did build up the Golden State Warrior, right? And then in 2016, yeah, I know that LeBron just beat the team with the best regular season record, but that wasn't it. So here is another reason of why the Golden State Warrior in the first place have a better Chicago Bulls record. I mean, that Chicago Bull record of 72-10 versus, Warriors 7-3-9. I say that the Chicago Bull team is much more formidable than the Warriors, 7-3-9. And here's one of the biggest reasons why, because of the soft era, right? Because we live in the NBA soft era, obviously, when the competition, when teams are a lot weaker, like, of course, like, you have much more better chance of, winning more games, right? That's exactly what happened, to the, Golden State Warrior. So, yeah, let's go back, to the, the Golden State Warriors, right? Of, 2015. So, I forgot what I was about to say, but yeah, so and then the 2016 Golden State Warrior of like the 2016 Golden State Warrior. So why were they, and why should they won the championship in 2016, right? I know that Steph Curry and entire team choke, all that stuff, right? I mean, there's two biggest takeaway. I mean, there's like three big reasons, like why LeBron James, and everything has gone in his favor just to win that, 2016 Golden State Warriors, right? The Golden State Warriors are actually, very inconsistent, right? That's why I heard that's their biggest weakness, They're always known to be, injury prone, right? And Draymond Green got suspended, right? And then Kyrie Irving has to, to help LeBron James, make all his big shot in, in the fourth quarter, especially what happened in Game 7, where Curry couldn't guard him or something, and then Kyrie made a big 3-point shot, right? And then the Cavaliers were up by like 3 points, and then they have to foul LeBron James. Golden State Warriors.
You are trespassing on private property. Your actions are being recorded on video. Please leave the site immediately.
Oopsie.
Or contact
Yeah, just like.
your password.
Just ignore that, announcement, I'm not on private property. I'm just, walking on the street, right? So, yeah, they just want to warn. But anyway, that's not what the video is all about. So, yeah, sorry for that background noise right there. So, yeah, I guess this is not private property. Private property means you go into like parking into a building. That is called private property. So, yeah, so what happened to the Golden State Warriors in 2016? So, and also Andrew Bogut was injured as well, right? So I know that they say that LeBron make a biggest comeback from like 3-1 deficit, but Warrior had issues, right? I mean, ever since Draymond got suspended, the whole Warrior momentum just changed, right? And then now Cavaliers are now in favor, right? If Bogut or Draymond if Andrew Bogut was injured and Draymond, wasn't suspended, not acting like a fool, then the Warrior would have finished this Cavalier in probably in 5 games, right? So yeah, because I know that the secret way of being the Golden State Warrior is to antagonize Draymond Green, right? Yeah, Draymond. Yeah, everybody, nobody respects Draymond Green as well, He's just, a trash talker, He just, does all his, foolishness, right? You know how Draymond is, right? So, yeah, and then, LeBron has to, I overheard that LeBron, manipulate, tell the NBA, get Draymond suspended, right? So, yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing. So that's another thing about LeBron James that annoys the most, is that whatever team goes to and whenever his team win, then he gets all the credit and coach and teammate gets no credit, right? And then what happened in 2017, 2018, right? The Warriors has to go get, Kevin Durant just to beat, LeBron James, right? So, yeah. And people saying that, LeBron James lost 6 games in the finals. I mean, you cannot blame on the Warriors, for building a super team, completely eliminating, LeBron James for winning championship. But it's LeBron's also own fault because I just know he doesn't play defense, right? And the Warriors were not, unbeatable, but they do look really dangerous and super talented. But that team can be beatable because they have lots of injury prone, right? I mean, kept them to the Warriors, guaranteed them 2 championships, right? And then after 2018, LeBron went to the, back. He left Cleveland again, go, join the Lakers, right? So, yes, and then, 2020, he won the championship, right? Because of the, Anthony Davis trade, and also it was a bubble, right? I get it, why the bubble was so easy to play in. It's because, of, no fans, no crowd, no pressure, right? So LeBron got another championship back in 2020, right? And teams was still, deal with injury, and the team was, inexperienced, right? And then they have to make all these, rules and play in tournament, all these, rules just, just for, LeBron, legacy, to be, just to, improve, LeBron's, NBA career, legacy, right? So, yeah, this is what's been going on here in the NBA, with, Mr. LeBron James, right? So, yeah, these are just all facts out there, right? All facts. So, yeah, so that there's a complete, now, it's completely different, right? So yes, guys, so I'm trying to think what else should I say about, LeBron, versus, Jordan, right? So let me just do a quick recap before I talk about anything else. So Jordan has a legit competition, right? And LeBron just, beat up against, nobodies in the NBA. He just beat against no one. And he only win because he has a lot more superior, talented, right? Talented, team, right? He's been in, all his championship is on, super team stuff, right? And explain how is the Laker, 2020, super team, he has all the bigs, he has Dwight Howard, he got Anthony Davis, and then LeBron is also dumb at the same time, making trades, that were championship routes. I feel like the Lakers should have won more championship, but no, because LeBron has to get them traded, right? So yeah, so they want to say that Rob Pelinka, is doing make all this bad decision, but that wasn't true. It was probably controlled by LeBron James, right? So yeah, every organization he goes to, everything he goes to, they try their best, to support LeBron James, but then, eventually they had enough, right? This is why the Miami Heat did not let LeBron James stay, and force him to leave out in 2014. The Miami Heat is still a relevant, Miami Heat was still a relevant team, even to this day, They still kept the same coach that coached LeBron James, right? Eric Spoelstra, right? I know that when LeBron James got to the championship 2014, the Miami Heat organization will not allow LeBron James, to follow his demand, right? It's because they didn't want to ruin culture. Some team and some organization already had a coach over there, and LeBron's trying to ruin it. So that's why they asked him, force him to leave, right? Same thing with 2016. The Cavaliers did everything best, to support LeBron James, but that didn't work out, and the Cavaliers just won their the owner of the Cavaliers just want their own team back, so LeBron left, right? And then, 2019, I have no respect. And then he joined the Lakers, around 2018, 2019. And I have no respect of Jeannie Buss because she just all wants the money, right? This is why she keeps LeBron James, right? And the Lakers are not going to win anytime soon until that, LeBron James leaves, right? Making so many trades, right? Blaming on player, getting them traded, right? So, yeah, and never, gave his teammate a credit. Always, talk down on them, right? Whereas Michael Jordan, he doesn't get all the credit. He gives his teammate the credit, right? And that's what we like about, Michael Jordan doesn't steal all the credit from his teammates, right? So yeah, this is why everybody, look up to Michael Jordan and they like him, right? So, yes. And now, and now this is why everybody doesn't want to play with LeBron James. And that's another thing that exposed, and you already know why, already explained out throughout this video, And this, because of, the way LeBron, controls, the way he manipulates, and the way he treated his origin players. That's why nobody wants to play with LeBron James, right? That's why Kyrie left too. Kyrie doesn't want to play with LeBron. Kevin Durant doesn't want to play with LeBron. Players and coaches are purposely now, avoiding LeBron James, Even Greg Popovich does not want LeBron James, right? And also, LeBron James is very uncoachable too, right? You know who coaches LeBron James? Guess who? Before I say it. So, and I don't get about LeBron James, why he needs coaches, right? LeBron coaches himself, Nobody coaches him but LeBron coaches himself. This is why I call him uncoachable, right? And that's one of the biggest problem that I got with LeBron James is that he always coaches himself, right? And this is why, people don't respect you that way too, right? You always, listen to yourself and you don't listen to anyone else, right? And that tends to be, my problem too. So I'm becoming like a LeBron James. Eventually, everybody will not respect me, right? Yeah, to be honest with you, to already be a good person, just don't be like LeBron James, right? Yeah, right? That's another thing, Michael Jordan is definitely coachable. LeBron isn't, man. LeBron thinks he's the smartest coach in there. He thinks he's the best player and smartest player, but he's not, man. He's and also, I heard a quote the other day that Steve Kerr saying that, LeBron has to be the toughest opponent we ever faced. But that's not true, Steve Kerr. Right? Being a LeBron James isn't that hard, right? I mean, say that, LeBron James is so unbeatable because we need to figure out how to beat LeBron James. That's what, Steve Kerr said. Right? And being LeBron James, it's not that hard to figure it out, right? LeBron James is the one that's figured out how to beat Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors, how to beat other teams and get more championship and do more manipulation. That's what LeBron's trying to figure that out, right? But this guy isn't. Yeah, that's what, that's what LeBron is, right? So yeah, what happened if we put Michael Jordan in this, era, right? What will happen? I think Michael Jordan would have won way more than 6 rings, that's for sure, right? And LeBron only won 4 rings in the asterisk way. But if Michael Jordan has the same advantage as LeBron James, he'll win a lot more rings, honestly. And he probably don't need to manipulate games just for him to win, because I think Mike Jordan's too good. So yeah, that's another thing, when you're so good and when you don't have to worry about people disrespecting you, right? You don't have to cheat the game because you're so good. You have lots of talent, right? So yeah, that's just what God, the big difference between MJ and LeBron James, right? LJ, right? So yeah, I want to give one more facts about let's say Michael Jordan, right? So Michael Jordan, here's both things that LeBron James and Michael Jordan did to the NBA, in a positive way, right? They both help the poor franchise get their first championship ever, right? I know that the Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls, they're both a very poor franchise, right? LeBron James, he only got Cavaliers one championship. And this is why, more people respected him, right? There's some people that are true fans, but some do. I say very few of them do respect him because of, what he did to the Cavaliers in 2016, right? That does look like a legit championship, but then, I already exposed that because of his manipulation, right? And, the help, from his teammates, right? His teammate does more help than he does, right? Yeah, LeBron, in this case, did not lie. He said that he promised Cleveland, his hometown a championship, and he did got them a championship, right? Now, let's go back to Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan got the Chicago Bulls 6 championship, right? And 6 championship, not one, but 6 of them, and 2 of them are a 3-piece, right? So this is why Michael Jordan is the best, right? And I know that the Cavaliers look irrelevant, but the Bull has not won anything, man, without Michael Jordan. As soon as Michael Jordan, left the Chicago Bull, the Bull ain't nothing, man. And that franchise is sorry, that garbage franchise, Chicago Bull, right? The Bull would have never been relevant if Michael Jordan wasn't there, right? LeBron James, right? The Cavalier, right? I know Cavalier won't be relevant without LeBron James, but hey, one of these days, you gotta talk to the true fan, or even talk to the Cavaliers owner, right? They're saying that, LeBron didn't do all of this, right? He actually created more trouble and mess in the NBA compared to Michael Jordan. Then what good has he done in the NBA, right? So yeah, that's a huge difference between franchises, right? So if LeBron wins multiple championships in Cleveland, maybe he would have got closer to Michael Jordan, but I still don't think he's still close to Michael Jordan. The Golden State Warriors should have beat LeBron James 4-0 in the finals, right? But no, it was a 3-1, right? That 2016 just got a little luck there. So yeah, and I remember back in the early days, I remember that around 2007, 2008, the Spurs was actually a lot more formidable, comparing to the 2013, 2014 San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs swept the Cleveland in 2007, right? Yeah. So I think that's enough to say, and comment below if I missed about a lot of facts about Jordan versus LeBron, but there's too many facts out there I don't know about, but this is all information I got, and I processed them for you guys. So yeah, so peace out, and thank you for watching this about an hour long video.